Okay. Well, welcome back, you guys. It's Wednesday, March 25th. We have just a little over a month together left, and we're excited to keep on studying together. Today, we want to focus on finishing the article by Dr. Walter Sobolov called Lingit Protocols. And Shirley and I prepared a discussion, but before we jump into that, were there any comments or questions, things on your guys' minds? Okay, so I'll open up our reading. Um, if you're just joining us, if you haven't been here in past weeks, this is an article by Dr. Walter Sobolov. His Tlingit name is Kajakute. He was Tlinedi, and he lived 1908 to 2011, and he was just a lifelong leader and really inspirational person. And he wrote this article called Lingit Protocols, which I'm going to put on our screen nice and big so we can continue. Um, but where we left off was at the bottom of page 3. We were talking about when someone is giving a speech, how it's traditional to have a response. When oratory is being delivered, guests encourage and show respect for the speaker verbally. And then we learned these responses, Gunatchish, Awa, and Yikwati. So thank you, that is it, and it shall be so. Um, this practice emphasizes the Tlingit tradition of balance and reciprocity. And Khuni Hande Ijin, your hand is up. Oh wait, he was just trying to get in. Okay. So I'll read the first couple of points and then I'll see if anyone wants to volunteer to read the next few. But top of page 4 begins with traditional Tlingit marriage practice dictates that a yith marry a chak or that the inverse occur. Parents were involved in finding the proper match. A preferred type of traditional marriage was between a son and his father's niece. Within this type of union, no material things left the household. All remained within the family. If someone of one moiety marries another member of the same moiety, it is regarded as though a brother and sister had married. In the past, marriage to someone of your own moiety was considered a kind of witchcraft. Death might be the consequence. May I ask somebody to read to the next 3, starting with the clan?
Can I say
Yeah,
something?
please, yeah.
Um, the marriage arrangements, um, they were very strict about it because the marriage was arranged so that you improved your status. So usually the marriage is arranged not like somebody down the street, your neighbor, somebody you knew all your life, but to another village, uh, especially if their status is really good, to marry into another town. Also, besides that, because the practice of marrying into another village uh, was used. Another thing you had to watch for was bloodlines. Uh, you had to be careful you didn't marry your first cousin or your really close relative. So uh, the marriage was arranged to improve your status uh, and to keep from going to war, so that you could be friends with somebody from another village. because you have relatives there. Thank you.
Mm. And how did people keep track of their bloodlines usually?
Just mentally, uh, they know uh, who was uh, who was who, brothers
Mm.
or cousins, and so you didn't want to have a marriage arranged between uh, the child of somebody that was uh, related to you, bloodline.
Mm.
Uh,
Nice.
I you know, because there was no written records, they just had to do it mentally.
Mm. It's a big job.
I kind of have a question.
Hmm.
So, after hundreds of years, really, at least between the Simpshian and the Hyde, the Simpshian now have a rule that if you're Hyde a Raven, you're Simpshian Raven because of the bloodlines.
Oh.
Do the Clinket or is it still cool if like you're Cyclonus and Chuck? Well, we took that word from you, but you get the picture. If you can you be a Raven on both in both of those separately still?
Mm.
Helene Simpson told, so I'm a Tlingit Raven and Clarence is a Haida Raven. And Helene Simpson, his auntie, really questioned us and she said, well, Tlinkits and Haidas are considered opposites. So she
Okay,
said
okay.
to them that it was okay because we're opposites in that way. I don't know
Oh,
if that's a
okay.
thing, but that's what we were told.
I was just wondering because I'd never heard that, but on the other side of it, the Simpsons are like, no, if you're Gunhada, you're Yaklana. So no. Just we're not even looking anymore. Just no. Thank
Huh.
you.
Yeah. That is a good question. Does anyone else have experience or knowledge about that?
I know it wasn't unusual to marry into the Haida clan tribe, but I never really thought about the fact that their clans had the same uh, format. So, but I maybe it was a lot. Maybe I'm guessing. Maybe it was allowed because of the different uh, tribes.
Yeah, my only similar experience was just a brief one time one of my friends who's Haida Raven was sitting next to me among the eagles at a Tlingit potlatch. And I asked her, "What are you doing over here?" And she goes, "Well, I'm a Haida Raven, so I would be a Tlingit eagle." And that,
Uh,
yeah.
We have the same moieties, but it seems our clan structure is very different. So under Tlingit, uh, Killer Whale would be an eagle clan, but or an eagle, and then for Haidas, Killer Whale is under Raven. So they,
Oh.
they all seem to be quite opposite in that way.
Hmm.
True. I think you
Wow.
guys have more clans too under each of them. There's only about four under each of the two moieties.
And then Haidas can have multiple clans. They
Oh,
can, yeah, right?
yeah, I
And
believe so.
Clinkets I mean, from what I know, Clinkets generally only belong to one.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, the Haida rule is that if you're in any of the clans under Gaialis, that just is an umbrella term for all the Raven clans. All the clans under that are off limits.
Okay.
That's it.
Mhm. Man, that is so interesting. Thank you guys for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other thoughts or questions about those 2 points?
I'll read next.
Okay, so you can please start here at the clan selects.
The clan selects an elder called Na Shuhan
Mhm.
as its spokesperson. A clan selects a caretaker for the clan regalia. Clan-owned regalia is not for sale. There was a time when clan ownership, including hunting territories and berry picking areas, those parcels of land were not utilized by non-clan members. If a transgression occurred, restitution was expected of those who had violated clan policy.
Oh, geez, thank you.
Those areas are still sacred. You don't tell nobody.
About berry picking areas? One time I was picking berries with my aunties and I tried to take a picture and they were like, "What are you doing? Don't put this on Facebook. People will triangulate where we are." I know Shirley has some experience about this with berry picking areas. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, the Huna area, of course, um, at one time used to be uh, uh, summer summer property where they go and prepare food for the winter because they were people from Glacier Bay. And then Huna got forced out of Glacier Bay, and the only area they had to go to was the village area of Huna that became a town. But at one time, it was owned. uh, this family had a smokehouse here and a house for the summer. Somebody else had property elsewhere where they had a house and where they prepared food, etc. And so the knowledge of having that property, I think I read an article once that said these people have no knowledge of property ownership. What?
Mm.
How come I know all this? Where the very, very strict restriction uh, to property owned places. And we want to go berry picking in this one area that's really neat little place. But it was owned by somebody we knew, so we had to get permission to go there. And she said yes, but she said she also wanted to go. So we all went together. So I know that there's places in the Huna area that is owned by uh, different families. And it was it was really common to to pinpoint places that belong to certain families. So um, I don't know about other villages, but the reason I wanted to bring that out was that the comment saying that these people had no knowledge of property, owning property, and that wasn't true at
Mm.
all.
Mm.
Still not true.
And when they said these people, they were referring to Tlingit people or Alaska Native people. Yeah. When you were growing up, how did people know what areas were owned by who? Was it word of mouth or talked about?
Yeah, it wasn't like the white man has a measuring, you know. It's more like uh, from that big tree over there, and all the way over here, and it's so uh, it's not real structured, but uh, it was well known uh, how much of that land belongs to the family.
Mm,
Yeah.
goodness, geez. Any other comments or questions about land ownership or regalia or the term na shuhan?
That's how come when the Navy, uh, the U.S. Navy bombed Angoon,
Hmm.
they all knew whose property was damaged, and property lines and everything.
Huh.
So it was, brought out to show the U.S., that all this property that was owned by a certain number of people.
Hmm.
So
So did that must have damaged salmon streams and harvesting areas too?
yeah, they made sure they damaged everything. They blew up the houses, and then they went ashore and chopped up the canoes that were on the beach so that the tribe could not uh, get ready for the winter. No boats. And then I heard there's something and it didn't hear in my youth, but I heard that in the descriptions was beyond Angoon on the same land. There was property, and I'm not sure if it was a village then or what it was, but it is owned and it didn't become a town like Angoon.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. And that really must have devastated them.
Yeah.
Can I have a volunteer to read these next 2 points? Starting with the world of nature.
Sure.
Thank you.
The world of nature is respected by the Tlingit, and kind remarks towards non-human beings, to the land, or toward the cosmos will eventually bring punishment upon the person who violates these principles. And you want the second one too, right?
Yes, please.
I think. Okay. It is better to speak kindly. If you do not have anything good to say, your thoughts are better left unspoken.
Goodness, geez.
That's
Any,
always a good thing
yeah. Yeah,
in,
anyone. Uh-huh.
in any culture.
Yeah, I always remember hearing if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Totally.
Yeah. One time when I was in a class, let's see, was I there? One time I was teaching a group of like preschool age, like ages 3 to 5, and during one of our prep meetings, the director told me that they had an issue with one of their class activities. So they brought in real herring for the students to cover and paint and then put prints on paper. So kind of like a fun way for the kids to learn about herring and their shape and also paint and practice, their motor skills. But the kids started saying things like, "Oh, it's slimy," or um, tossing the fish to each other and acting like, "Ooh, they don't like it." And luckily they had an elder in the classroom who told them that's kashisikwa. It's a sensitive subject. The herring are our food, and we need to be always talking about them respectfully. If you don't, then they'll stop coming to feed you. I thought that was a really nice way for her to correct everyone's behavior and teach us the right way. But I always think about that when it comes to unkind remarks toward non-human beings, to the land, or toward the cosmos could bring punishment. Were you guys taught that kind of thing growing up?
Yeah, pretty much the same concepts.
Yeah.
I think that's an important concept that we were all taught, you know, to you don't say make remarks like that just offhand, and it's just uh, there's a story about uh, a boy that made bad remarks, and he got captured by the salmon.
Oh.
That's a story I heard several times because you need to watch what you say about animals.
Mm.
That's part of our world and needs our respect. So
Goodness, geez. Okay, I'll read these next couple, starting top of page 5. Clan members should know their clan history and family relationships. This knowledge creates comfort during ceremonials and enriches the protocol of the event for the observer or participant. Brothers must be respectful and kind to their sister's husband or future husband. They must demonstrate their affection for this man by offering him gifts. This underscores their love for their sister as well. Lingit clans own specific songs. Other clans who wish to sing these songs must obtain permission. Each clan owns many objects and properties, each of which requires appropriate protocol when used or addressed. Any comments?
or questions?
Mm.
Um, y- yeah, I just wanted to kind of share something.
Mhm.
And this is sort of just about my kind of going back to that family history and relationships. And it was actually in kind of the Wrangell area. My dad always used to talk about his uncle's fishing spots and things like this, right over at, can't remember which island over there. And later, my brother and I were going, and this was his paternal, uncle. So that would have been his opposite, right? His Kagwantan and his father and all of them were Teton. And we were looking at maps later or of just the different areas that the clans had ownership of, and like sure enough, the Teton had ownership over like those sorts, like that area where my father's uncle fished at. And then his like, and he didn't really describe it like that as being clan territory necessarily, but it was kind of just known within the family. Oh yeah, your uncle, or my uncle used to fish over there, kind of thing. But I don't know.
Mm, that's awesome. Who's your dad and uncle? Would they be people we know?
I'm not sure. Albert Reinhardt is my father. I think Vicky, I recognize Vicky on here. But my family's from Wrangell,
Oh,
mostly.
awesome. Oh, welcome. Goodness, geez, for sharing.
Oh, gosh, cheese for having me.
Hmm. Any other comments or questions?
Um, I think, I mean, I know that Tlingit clans, own their specific songs, but that was something I was thinking about the other day, how another difference between like the Tlingit and Haida people, how close we are, but how different we are at the same time. It seems like their clans might own specific songs also, but it seems like they also have like general songs that they all know. So everywhere you go, there's like the Sea Otter song and the Haida anthem, and they just know them. And it's so beautiful to see that you can go into a room in a different community and all these Haida people gather and they just all know those songs. And it's just one big singing gathering. And I love it. And then that's the different thing for Tlingit people because we are protective of our own songs. We know those songs, so we don't necessarily have those general songs that that I've ever seen anyway.
Thank you for sharing. Shirley, did you have thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think that it's a strange idea for two people that are not of the Haida or Tlingit or Tsimshian group is the ownership of songs and and how it was used and introduced like we were talking about for another class the Ducktington love song that was in Huna, and they sing it, and it's usually given permission to sing it. It used to be when I was growing up, they'd have a potlatch, and all the guests that were at the potlatch had to dance. So it was all one clan. And it's not like today where you have different clans in a dance group. So it's
Right.
hard to tell.
I don't know. I'm Daishiton. I don't know a single Daishiton song. But I'm not a part of any other clan, so I don't necessarily know their songs either. And I feel I understand why we have the system set up the way we do. I just wish there was a way to learn that information more. Does
Yeah,
that make sense?
when
Mhm.
you're taught a song, uh, usually the person that introduces it gives very specific information before the words are learned as to who the song belongs to, and you give credit. I think today that's all that's required is that you give credit to the person or the clan that owns the song.
So, like, if I have students, like you mentioned in my other class, that they're Duck Ton and they want to learn the pronunciation. They already know the song, Catherine Grant's song, but they just want to practice the pronunciation. But I'm teaching the class to people of all different clans and nationalities. Um, is there something more I should do besides just give credit to the person who composed it and who it belongs to?
Just to, I think nowadays the credit and who it belongs to. So those that learn it in your class uh, can learn the song to assist in the singing and the dancing, but they can't just come out and say, okay, we're going to sing this Catherine Grant song. And, they have no relationship with Ducktaintown at all.
Mm.
I, I, I'm not sure how Sea Alaska handles the celebration or have any requirement for the use of songs that belong to others, to people that. But I noticed that they do have a requirement to give credit to the person that owns this, to the clan that owns the song, but there's no requirement given to who can sing it. But I noticed that the dance groups do pay attention to uh, who can lead the song and who can dance to it. So if you have a Town song, Town descendants like me uh, would come out and dance to that song. So it's not the Town that has to come out and dance; it's their children.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, goodness, geez. That is so helpful. And Jessica, I don't know how to connect you with Daishitan songs. I just know that there are Daishitan people in Admiralty Island, Canada. Um, I guess I would look for a dance group in Admiralty Island, Hutsnuwu and ask them.
Yeah, my sister-in-law was Town from Angoon, and but when I think about it, I I can't remember songs that were specifically given to that. And but what happens is, like for instance, cake. One time they performed songs only that was given to them by other tribes and other clans, and had turned out to be really interesting uh, uh, for their performance. It was great because they talked about how they got it. Sometimes it used to be uh, just for fun. You can get songs from other tribes in Alaska uh, by winning a contest. Yeah, I remember Yakutat has that where they have contests in dancing and singing, and the prize was for the other to give them permission to use the song and the dance.
No.
So uh, they they have a song they call the Aleut Hat Dance,
Hmm.
uh, and that's such a fun thing. I don't know what we're saying, but they uh, they sing it pretty proudly because it was they won it in a contest, and it was given to them.
Hmm.
So things like that happened.
That's super fun.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. We're halfway through page 5. Can I have a volunteer to read the next 3 points?
I can read.
Thank you.
Okay. There are particular facets of Lingit culture which command respect, dignity, and honor of a sacred nature. These aspects of Lingit culture are never to be spoken of lightly or dealt with carelessly. The Tlingit term that best describes this concept is ka kulitsigwa.
Good job. Kaklitsikwa. Uh-huh.
When speaking of your own Dushuka, clan crests, and other clan-owned items do not include reference to other clans' territory or property informally or casually. The other clan may jokingly admonish you, embarrassing you for your mistake if you violate these principles. At ceremonial property, including clan crests and items like Nakshin, Chilkat robe, Kayok, Kayakutiksku wool robe,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
Shaki at dance hat with ermine tails are only used during ceremonial events unless special permission has been granted.
Good job. And thank you for being a good sport because I didn't teach you guys any of these terms. So, let's practice this first term together. Uh, repeat after me. Kaklitsikwa.
Kaklitsikwa.
Uh-huh. And everyone can try. Go ahead.
Kaklutsikwa.
Yeah. Um, Shirley, did you have a translation for Kaklitsikwa?
Yeah, that the word means sensitive, very sensitive and something.
Mm. Gunaftish. The next term that were in Tammy's points were repeat after me. Dushuka.
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 Uh,
Dushuka.
okay. So clan crests. And then this next term just means owned things, but it's how we refer to ceremonial property. And this one, repeat after me. At ooh.
U.
Oh,
Ooh.
Good. And Nietzsche and Agutye, your hand is up.
I was wondering, with Shuka, I feel like I've heard that, like Hashuka, would that be related to that kind of at the end there? The Shuka,
Hmm.
would that be a specific word in and of itself?
Yeah, that's actually the only way I've seen that written before or used. So let's do a quick page of notes for terms.
Just curious.
Yeah, good point.
Uh,
So, uh-huh. I'm just gonna make a little table with so we can compare. And Shirley, have you heard that term dushuka before to mean clan crest?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's a shukha. Could be translated as ahead of you or before you, but shukha also could mean in the future. So it's really an unusual word, and it can be used either way, and the meaning uh, usually translated to both. Ashoka is, or Dushoka, his past or his future.
Oh,
Past history or future.
goodness, geez.
Gunashi.
Uh, and then your phrase that you heard before, Nietzsche and is ha shuka. And that one, the only change here is ha, which means our,
Mm.
instead of duh is his or hers. Good observation. So we practiced at ooh. This next phrase is a word for chilkat robe, and repeat after me. Na geen.
Nachen. Nachen.
Nahen.
Okay. Next one, wool robes. Kaya kut ihu.
Kayakuti-hu.
Good job. Ceremonial
Can we try
dance
that
hat.
one again?
Uh-huh. Yeah, so this last word is robe, this
Uh-huh.
X apostrophe OOW.
Cool.
And that one sounds like this. Ooh,
Ooh.
good,
Ooh.
good. And the first word is underline K, so back of the throat. Kayakuti.
Kaya
Coyote.
Kayakuti.
Good. So yeah, this apostrophe after the T tells us to make it snappier and sharper. So let's do that one again. Kayakuti.
Kayakuti.
And the next word, ku. And dance hat with ermine tails, shaki ut.
Shakiyat.
Good.
So sorry if I'm probably going to ask a lot of questions, but could we use Kaya who for also for like raven's tail robes or things like that, or would it be like specifically like more like a blanket that you would give out at a party sort of thing?
Good
Like a
question.
button blanket.
Oh, okay.
Kayak,
Geez.
yeah,
Kaya
buttons.
mm, Kaya
And then
mm.
raven's tail, would that be the same thing, Shirley, as a nachin?
No, raven's tail is just a woven blanket with
Uh-huh.
designs, different designs, black and white. It's lightweight.
Oh, okay. Ganaftish. So different from a chill cat robe.
Shakiat is it translates to that thing on top of your head.
Oh yeah.
But they're very, very specifically made. Uh, they tried to make copies of these without studying how it's done. They turn out to look like stovepipes on top of your head. That's not how they're designed.
Mm. I have a picture of one after you and I were talking that is a Simshian style one. I'll put it up on the screen for you guys.
Clinket.
What's that?
They're the same as Clinket.
Mm. So yeah, these are the ermine tails that Shirley described to me as being kind of, how did you say, Shirley? There's like a tail at the back that goes down your back. It's all sewn with ermine tails or ermine skins. Let's see. I want to make sure we finish the article and we're at 10 minutes till, so I'm gonna keep us moving. Oh, I guess this is the end. This last point I'll read. On history, the general tribal and settlement history of Southeast Alaska is widely available for tourism, promotion, and education. Clan history and other Tlingit knowledge is classified as intellectual property, however, and is for clan use only. Any other comments or questions?
It used to be they were really, really strict about clan history, to be told.
Mm,
It was okay for uh, Clinkets to use it to teach their families about the history of Clinket. But after Dick and Nora Downhauer published some of the speeches and stories in their book, Lance Twitchell and I were having a discussion about what does that do to the requirement of uh, the strictness of the history of the people. and now it's published, so it kind of takes it out of our hands to be used by a lot of people. So I think the one requirement that would be kept would be to give make sure you give credit and honor to the people that own the story.
That's a good point. Thank you. And for folks that are wondering, the book that Shirley's referring to is this one, Ha Shuka, and it's Tlingit oral narratives. And it has a lot of really interesting stories and history in it of all different clans. Shirley and I prepared a lot of key points. I think we went over a lot of them today. I'll just kind of re revisit these. We talked about marriage and bloodlines. We talked about sensitive subjects, kaklisikwa.
We also talked about responses during the speech, and we listened to one that was pretty interesting because besides the traditional awe and equity and words like that, was one person kept saying ho 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 ho.
Yeah.
That was kind of an additional something that was added because we don't have in our alphabet we don't have a single O, so ho ho is was a new response, and I think it's taken to mean you're welcome. So
That's used a lot down here, and they really use it to emphasize the thank you.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it's come to mean and it could be used as you're welcome.
Hmm.
I said it once to uh, when I was in Juneau, we were studying, and they said, "This is our language, and the people that want to come here need to have an understanding, at least to hear the word "gunachish," and then quickly add out. I just said thank you, and so I really had a difficult time. I didn't have the nerve to just speak out like I was going to do it to the driver, bus driver, city bus driver, and I backed out. I went to the bank, did my banking, and as I was leaving, I said, "Gonna cheese," and the teller said, "Ho ho." So I was kind of surprised and pleased that there is an understanding that I didn't need to be so afraid of using it. They should hear it. They should know, say, gonna cheese, and you need to say right away, I just said thank you.
Mm.
I mean, what when down so I hear some clan leaders like Harvey Shields and Richard Shields and Willard Jackson. I hear them use ho ho a lot with Gunakjish. So they'll say Gunakjish ho ho all as one phrase as a way to emphasize the thank you. And I don't really understand the ho ho either because I hear conflicting statements on it, on whether it is a thing or not a thing. The way that they use it as as in like thank you very much kind of way. But then I've also been told that ho ho isn't part of it and that it doesn't it's not correct. So I'm not, it's confusing.
Hmm.
Yeah, we adapted words that were introduced, and of course, if you search the um, alphabet, the Lingit alphabet, you won't find a single O because we don't have one. So the word ho ho was an introduction and seemed to be really accepted by the old people. That's what I go by. And so when they say it, it just means thank you very much. And the changes that have been made with the new speakers is to use ho ho as you're welcome. And we don't like other words that were introduced from the English language that became part of the Tlingit language, and it happens. It was adapted.
Mm.
So you're not making a mistake if you use it because it was adapted and accepted by the old people.
Mhm. Goodness, geez. Nietzsche on the good you had your hand up.
I had a question about the alphabet. You said alphabet, and um I'm here with Etienne Boot. Um, and I was just wondering a little bit more about that. I mean, you said there's no O in the alphabet, and I guess a kind of a segue to the question would be, so to simplify it, maybe would ho ho be like a dialect thing? And then you mentioned, things were adopted, you know, and or it was a newer word. Was that passed, between clans? Sorry, that was kind of a bad question, loaded question, but I hope that made sense.
Oh yeah, that's good. Shirley, did you want to speak to that?
We have an alphabet of 58, of 52, depending on who's counting. Yeah, 52 um, letters in our language, and there are 8 vowels that is ours. And the thing about Tlingit alphabet is the letters never change, never sound different. Like in English, you say something and then say it in another way, it changes the sound. The sound is always the same. Single letter A, ah, single letter I, eh, single letter E, eh, single letter U, So there's no O. There's a double O. It's ooh.
Mhm.
So
Ooh.
there's double letters too. Double A, ah, E, A,
A,
double E.
E.
As a kid, that you know what that meant. Something gross. Uh,
See, brilliant.
E. But there's only eight vowels, and when you say them, they're all the same. Always say it the same. Never changes.
Correct.
So,
Oh,
Mm.
oh.
Good discussion today, you guys. I'm glad we made it through our article. Thank you for sharing, everybody. And we're at time already, so we'll see you guys again.
if you want to look in
Yeah.
Lance Twitchell's book. It tells you a lot about the alphabet.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, yeah, it's just a little booklet. It's not a big book.
Mhm. Okay. All right, you guys. We'll see you next week on Wednesday. Have a good weekend.
Cheese.
Uh,
So do we finish the article?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.